Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 6, Text 12. Ayam avataraha. I get rid of this.
See the vertical line.
This okay?
Yeah.
Ayam avataro rajoso papluta kaivalyo pasik kaivalyo pasik sanartah ayam avataraha. In this incarnation, Lord Rishabhadeva, Rajasa, by the mode of passion, Upapluta, overwhelmed, Kaivalya Upashikshana, Artha, to teach people the path of liberation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. In this age of Kali, people are overwhelmed by mode of passion and ignorance. Lord Rishabhadeva incarnated himself to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Please repeat. In this age of Kali, people are overwhelmed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Lord Rishabhadeva incarnated himself to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Purport. The symptoms of Kali Yuga are predicted in the 12th canto, 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lavanyam Kesha Dharanam. It is predicted how fallen souls will behave. They will keep their hair long and consider themselves very beautiful, or they will pluck out their hair as the Jains do. They will keep themselves unclean and will not wash their mouths. Jains refer to Lord Rishabhadeva as their original preceptor. If people are serious followers of Rishabhadeva, they must also take his instructions. In the 5th chapter of this canto, Rishabhadeva gave his 100 sons instructions whereby they could become free from the clutches of Maya. If one actually follows Rishabhadeva, he will certainly be delivered from the clutches of Maya and return home back to Godhead. If one strictly follows the instructions of Rishabhadeva given in the 5th chapter, he will certainly be liberated. Lord Rishabhadeva incarnated specifically to deliver these fallen souls. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Saganalita Shri Vishadhamitamsta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dhinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tadanchana Gaurange Radhe Dhavaneshwari Shabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatrivayascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Vaditanam Pavane Vaishnavi Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pucharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desatarani Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So basically this verse is the last few verses we have been seeing. It's showing how it's speaking about the Jain religion. So if you see in the previous verse also, 6:11, Low-class people, due to their gross ignorance, introduce a system of religion that deviates from the Vedic principles. Following their own mental concoction, they automatically fall down into the darkest regions of existence. So what is happening is Lord Rishabhadeva, he is Rishabhadeva means the greatest among all men. So he is a pure devotee of the Lord. He is also an incarnation of the Lord, and he is giving various instructions of how to do devotional service to the Lord. So, and that is there in the previous chapters where he is instructing his 100 sons, led by Bharat Maharaj, the eldest son. So there was, and after that he renounces the kingdom and he lives a life of a complete avadut. He has no regard for anything, extreme renunciation, which cannot be imitated by us. So what some people did, there was a king called Arhat, and he started to imitate those activities of Lord Rishabhadeva, those extreme renunciation, and that was the origin of the Jain religion. So these kind of religions, they are actually not dharma, but actually adharma. If you go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Yamadutas. Yamaduta uchuhu Veda praniyato dharma hi adharmastat viparayah Vedo Narayana Sakshat Swayambhur iti Sushruma. So the Yamadutas are saying that when being questioned by the Vishnudutas, and this is from the chapter of Ajamil, the Yamadutas reply that that which is prescribed in the Vedas constitute of dharma and religious principles, the religious principles. And the opposite of that is irreligion. You see, the Vedas are directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana and are self-born. This we have heard from Yamaraj. So what is mentioned in the Vedas is considered dharma. So it says that the Vedas, they are directly the personality of Godhead. So if it's not directly the personality of Godhead, then if we see in the, what is it? Pralayo payodi jale dritavanasi vedam vihitra vahitra charitam akedam keshava drita meena sarira jai jagadisha hare. Why the Lord took the form of the fish incarnation during the time of Pralaya, right? To save the Vedas. These demons were trying to take away the Vedas, and the Lord, of course, he also came and saved Satyavarta. What's the king name? King Satyavarta, right? Satyavrata. He saved him also, and all the rishis. But the other thing he did was he was saving the Vedas. So the Vedas, the Lord himself had incarnated to save them. Means how important this knowledge of the Vedas is, because it contains what we should do and what we should not do. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, we can see. (1832) Adharmam dharmam itiya manyate tamasasvrta sarvattan viparitamscha buddhi sa partha tamasi. So the understanding that which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness strives always in the wrong direction or partha is in the mode of ignorance. So this is what Krishna is saying to Arjuna. This is happening in the Kali Yuga. What is actually religion, what is mentioned in the Vedas, is being rejected. And what is not in the Vedas, especially happening in Hinduism, right? They said, "Oh, why you're so Abrahamic? You Hare Krishna people are very Abrahamic. Because we are following Vedas, we are called Abrahamic. And these people, they don't follow nothing. They are very Sanatan Dharma, Hindus. So what is happening out there, the irreligion, they are taking it to be religion. So many fake gurus are being worshipped. Similarly, this Jain religion also, it's all manufactured religion. Uh, as if you, there's a famous guru, right? Sadguru. He himself said, I don't care about the Vedas. I care about my own experience. That is more important. So people think that is religion and following that, right? So unfortunately, this is the situation in Kali Yuga, and we see in today's verse also how Lord Rishabhadev actually came to teach us religion, but even he is being misrepresented, misinterpreted, as the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So yeah, this is the verse, right? Now, so if we see this verse here, one who is not a great controller, 10:33:30, should never imitate the behavior of the ruling personalities, even mentally. If out of foolishness an ordinary person does imitate such behavior, he will simply destroy himself, just as a person who is not Rudra would destroy himself if he tried to drink an ocean of poison. Right? So imitation is not at all recommended. We have to um, follow the instructions of the Vedas, of the avatar, and not try to imitate them. And if you like, the example is very apt here. If you try to imitate Rudra, people try to imitate him smoking, right? I mean, Venugopal Prabhu did a video recently with the kids. So he was smoking, and then Samarth and Vishnu were asking why you are smoking. See, Lord Shiva also was smoking. Then Samarth gave some poison. He said, "You drink also." So very nice, instructive video. Um, so this is what we have to understand. Even Krishna, he spoke the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, right? But nobody wants to follow that. They want to follow his Rasa Leela. Prabhupada said, if you want to follow his Rasa Leela, then why don't you try to carry the Govardhan hill and imitate that also? So this is something, this re-religion should be debate. I mean, those people who are following the correct paths, we should debate and defeat them. Just like how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they were very much opposing all the upper sampradayas out there in the name of Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism became a very cheap sex cult at one point of time. But the acharyas brought the light. It was covered in darkness, the clouds of darkness, but they brought back the light. You know. Similarly, now Sampradaya also, our Guru Parampara also, this problem is happening now in ISKCON. What Prabhupada wanted is being disobeyed and covered with so many fake false gurus. So sincere disciples have to stand up and preach this system of Ritvik system, you know. So anyway, why? So the next point is that, see, there's another interesting point that Prabhupada makes, that in this purport 3910, yeah, so here, so of course he's quoting the Ishopanishad sloka, but he's giving a different example here. He's saying that a person in ignorance of principles of religion, who therefore does nothing in matter of religion, is far better than a person who misguides others in the name of religion. And sometimes we say this, right? The karmi guy is better than these fake gurus, whatever they're doing. So here Prabhupada is also saying that in the purport of 3910. So if you are representing in the name of religion, you're doing nonsense, that is even worse, because you're misguiding people, misguiding your power. So this is also happening in the the verse today about how this Jain religion is also a representation, misguidance to the public and society. And now we want to actually see a story. What is the origin of this misguidance? How did e-religion begin? How did it even start in the first place? If you look at the fourth canto, we can see the story of Indra and Prithu Maharaj. 4:19, this chapter. Prithu Maharaj, after being a king, and he's speaking to Mother Earth, chastising her, getting all um, the food grains, everything from Mother Earth again. So because when his father was ruling, King Vena, he was so sinful that the entire earth was restricted from getting any food grains or rain. Because when you do sinful activities, you will not get this. You'll get a lot of natural disasters, right? So King Vena, eventually Vena was killed, and Prithu Maharaj came from his body through the Brahmanas. Prithu Maharaj and his wife, they are an expansion of Vishnu, Shakta Vesha Avatar. So when Prithvi Maharaj became king, he immediately set everything right. The kingdom was irreligious, it became religious again. It became Krishna conscious again. Then after ruling his kingdom very nicely, he wanted to do Ashwamedha Yagya. So if you do 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas, it is, of course, the Yagya is for the benefit of the people. In those days, they used to do Yagya in a different yuga. In this age, we cannot do those Yagyas. So you're required to sacrifice the animal, and that animal, when it goes into the fire, it will come back with a new life. You'll get a higher life. So even that is being misused. People in the Kali Yuga misused those verses in the Vedas and started to kill animals and cows and started killing them, which is why Lord Buddha came and denied the Vedas, right? Because people, instead of following the instructions of the Vedas, they were imitating the actions. So what happens in Prithu Maharaj's story? He wanted to do Ashwamedha Yagya, 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. If you do 100 Ashwamedha Yagya, you will actually become Indra, the next Indra. So Indra, seeing how Indra is the king of heaven. So if you do 100 Ashwamedha Yagya, you're called Shatakritu. Shatakritu means one who has done 100 sacrifices. Shatakartu. Okay, wrong pronunciation. Shatakratu. So Indra, seeing that Prithu was arranging, he had already done 99 sacrifices. 99 is done. Even Lord Vishnu himself came. So we can understand that the purpose of the sacrifice is actually to satisfy Vishnu, right? What's the verse 3:9? Yagyarnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tatartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Why we do sacrifice is actually to satisfy Lord Vishnu. And if Vishnu is satisfied, then the sacrifice is perfect, right? So Vishnu himself actually came to witness the sacrifice of Prithu Maharaj. And then what happens? Indra, he being envious, he was extremely envious. He did not want Prithu to get this name of the Shatakratu. He did not want that, right? So he did not mind that. Okay, it doesn't matter. I am Indra. I am a very powerful being. In fact, in the verses you can see Indra is also called Bhagavan Indra. Why? Because he is given so much of power to rule the heavenly kingdom. So what Indra does when the 99th Yagya is happening, it's going to happen. The 101 is going to happen. He comes in the clothes of a sannyasi. He dresses himself up as a sannyasi. And because he came as a sannyasi, nobody could identify this guy as a thief. He stole the horse and he ran away. So this is irreligious. Coming in the religious attire, but doing irreligion. Right? Similar to this Jainism, right? Seemingly imitating Rishabhadev, but not following his instructions. So when he took the horse and ran away, so we must understand one thing, that even the people in heaven, demigods, they're so great, right? Even they are subjected to the 4 defects. What are the 4 defects? What is the 4 defects? You can see here. Brahma Pramada Vipralipsa Karana Patava Arsha Vikya Vakya Nahi Dosha E Sabha. Mistakes, the four defects, mistakes, illusions, cheating, and defective perception do not have occur in the saying of the authoritative sages. So you see here cheating, the word. Even the people in heavenly planet, the king of heaven, Indra, had this quality to cheat. So all this dharma, all this e-religion we see in the world right now, this is called Kaitaba dharma. This dharma, Kaitaba dharma means cheating religion. Why is it called cheating religion? Because that religion which does not help you to develop devotion for Krishna, dharma prochita Kaitaba atra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. If it does not, if the religion does not help you, save pumsho pharo dharma yator bhakti radokshade aituki apratihata. If the religion is without, is causeless, is not cause, is having a motive behind, that is cheating religion. Bhakti has to be aituki and apratihata, without any motive and causeless, without any cause. You're doing it. So all the other religions except for Bhagavata Dharma is considered cheating religion. Even the religion, let's say, even if you're worshipping the Lord for motive, even that is not as high as Bhagavad Dharma. Then what to speak about such religions where you come as a fake sannyasi, right? So Indra, he descends as a fake sannyasi, steals the horse. Then what happened is Atri Rishi. Atri is the son of Brahma. Brahma has 7, the Brahma Rishis. I forgot their names, but one of them is Atri, Marichi, Pulaha, Pulastya, Kartu, Brigu. Yeah. So Marichi's son is Kasyapa. From Kasyapa and all this Kasyapa, Diti, Aditi, right? All the other, and so many wives he had. All the species of life is coming mostly through Kasyapa. Even the demigods, son of Aditi. They are all son of Kashyapa, whose the father is Marichi, whose father is Brahma. So the demigods themselves, they are not in the very high position. Their father is even greater, Kashyapa. Kashypa's father is Marichi. They are not in that platform of renunciation. As you can see here, Indra lacks the quality of renunciation and detachment. He was attached. He was very much attached to his position as a king in heaven. And he did not want to lose his name. And on the expense of not losing his name, he dressed up as this fake sannyasi. And you know what happened after that? People also started to dress up like this fake sannyasi. That is how the e-religion began. You see here. We'll go to the verse. We'll see some purport also from this chapter. So here it says that the king Indra was taking away the horse. He dressed himself to appear as a liberated person. So sannyasi is supposed to be in a liberated platform. Actually, this dress was a form of cheating, and it falsely created an impression of religion. So he's creating a false impression of religion. When Indra went to the outer space in this way, the great sage Atri saw him and understood the whole situation. So Atri could understand what's happening. See, even Atri is mentioned as Tam Atri Bhagavan Aikshat. So he's a very powerful personality. So here we see the purport. The word Pakanda used in this verse is sometimes pronounced as Pashanda. Both these words indicate an impostor who presents himself very religious person, but in actuality sinful. Indra took up the saffron colored dress as a way of cheating others. The saffron dress has been misused by many impostors who present themselves as liberated person or incarnation of God. Even Ravana did that, right? Ravana actually dressed up to cheat, to to cheat Sita, he dressed as a sannyasi, and then he said, I want alms. And then she, seeing that attire, she came and gave. So how much respect is there for the attire of the sannyas? Also, if you see, of course, that's a very long story, which I cannot say now, but it's okay. In the story of Damayanti Nala also, she actually only serves the Brahmana when her husband abandons her. She's alone. She told the queen she was safe. She was staying in the shelter of a kingdom, Chedi kingdom, the kingdom of Chedi. And then she told the queen that I will not speak to any man except for the Brahmanas whom I will serve. Because she knows that Brahmanas will not cheat. She knows the Brahmanas, sannyasi will not cheat. I can serve them without any worry. They have no ulterior motives, right? So you see the position of a sannyasi. So in this way, people are cheated. As we have mentioned many times, the conditioned soul has tendency to cheat. Just now we quoted this verse. Therefore, this quality is also visible in the persons like Indra. It is understood that King Indra is not liberated from the clutches of material contamination. He is not liberated. Indra himself, right? So the words amukta iva, meaning as if he were liberated, are used. The saffron dress worn by sannyasi announces to the world that he has renounced all worldly affairs and simply engaged in the service of the Lord. So recently there was a very hot topic news going on. Rajinikanth, he had his new movie released, called Jailer. So he went to UP and he was watching the movie, the screening. Then he went to meet Yogi Adityanath, and then he bowed down to him. And then everybody started saying, "Why is bowing down to this man? He's younger than him in age. He's not. He's wearing a orange dress, but he's a politician, right?" Which is true. Of course, in the age wise, you can still bow down to somebody younger, provided they have more knowledge than you. Like we see in the story of Vishwarupa, when Indra offended Brihaspati left the kingdom, left the heavenly planets, and all the demigods lost their power. And the demons were very powerful because they were following the instructions of Sukracharya. So the demigods lost the position in heaven after offending their guru. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan. Then they approach Brahma, who chastises them first. And Brahma says, "Go and find Vishwarupa." Vishwarupa is the son of Twashta. Vishwarupa has inclination towards the demons also. So Brahma says, "You appoint him as your priest, and then he will help you come back to power. But you must excuse his favorable nature to the Asuras also. Because his mother's side, they are somehow linked to the Asuras." So when they approach Vishwarupa, they bow down. And Vishwarupa said, "I'm younger than you. I cannot accept this worship or prayer." And they said no. The demigods themselves said no. The seniority is not by the age, but by the knowledge. And you are our guru. You are knowledgeable more than us. We'll bow down to you. 6 canto, 6, 7 something. Narayana Kavacha before. Then he creates the Narayana Kavacha and gives to them. And with the Narayana Kavacha, they are able to defeat the demons. But funny thing is, after that, Indra cuts off his head also. after talking so much, Indra go and cuts his head off because he was giving the Somaras, the Yagya, the remnants of the Yagya to the demons also. So Indra doesn't even care how his behavior. So after that, Indra gets so much of sin. Again, offended Brihaspati, the guru, and offended Guru another time. And he got so much of sin. Of course, the story goes on, which we'll cover next time. So now we can see that the Yogi Adityanath, 33, yeah. So even though he may be more knowledgeable than Rajinikanth, right? But he is not really a sannyasi because he is taking the position of doing politician, right? If you see in the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was told to meet King Prataparutra, he refused. He said, "How can I meet I'm a sannyasi, I've renounced the world. How can I meet a worldly minded person like the king? The word king itself is like allergic to me. And then he quotes the verse. If you see this verse, he quotes Madhya 12:51. You can see here in the purport. Therefore, unless one is in, he says that a little spot in the sannyasi character will be magnified by the public. Let's say you're wearing white dress. If the white dress has one red spot or black spot, people will not see the white; they will see the black spot. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Ramananda Rai, he said, "I cannot meet the king because if I meet him, then I will get this spot." This bad character. I'm a sannyasi. So you see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing his character as a sannyasi. So of course many people were defending Yogi Adityanath, saying, "Oh yeah, he's a sannyasi," but technically no. He's doing and of course he's also not a Vaishnava sannyasi. He's a Ekadanda sannyasi. That means in the Mayavad school, which is not fully authorized as well. So anyway, now what is really sannyasi? It's spoken in this verse here of the Bhagavad Gita. Anarshita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha. Sa sannyasi cha yogincha na niraknir na chakriyaha. One who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obliged is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic. So one who actually works for like now the limbs of the body, right? We have this body. The limbs of my body are meant to serve my body, to satisfy the needs of my body. If the limbs want to work separately from the body, he is diseased. But if the limbs works in cooperation with the body, that is sannyasi. So if you work for the satisfaction of Krishna, that is sannyas. You may be even in grahastha ashram, whatever, but if your full life is dedicated only for the satisfaction of Krishna, then that is in the sannyas platform actually. But if you are a sannyasi and you're attached to the fruits of your labor, and like he says here, one who, not he who lights no fire and perform no work. This sannyasi, they renounce everything. They don't do any work. So that is rejected by Krishna. Krishna says, you work for me, karma yoga, right? It's better to be a karma yoga than karma yogi than doing all this hatha yogi. This is in the 6th chapter, the first verse. Krishna himself is telling already. Because the entire 6th chapter talks about this hatha yoga process, ashtanga yoga, how to do ashtanga yoga. But if you just do ashtanga yoga, but you do not dedicate the work to Krishna, then it's useless. It's better to work and serve the Lord in the karma yoga platform. Okay, so now Indra, he is a cheating sannyasi. So Prabhupada says here, cheating sannyasis and yogis have existed since the time of Prithu Maharaj sacrifice. So you must understand why I'm speaking about this is because e-religion started from here. Indra is the preceptor, even though he is the king of heaven, but he also started this e-religious process of this fake sannyasi dress. So Prabhupada says in some ages cheating is very prominent, in other ages not so prominent. It is the duty of sannyasi to be cautious because as stated by Lord Chaitanya, sannyasi alpachitra. So yeah, we already spoke about this. So in this age, it's not recommended to take this sannyas platform. Then what happens next, right? Indra steals the horse. Then the son of Prithu, his name is Vijitaswa. Why Vijitaswa? Is because he chases after Indra. He chases after Indra, and Indra out of fear runs away. So Indra is actually supposed to be a Kshatriya. Kshatriya will never turn his back in a war, right? If a Kshatriya turns his back, he might as well commit suicide. But Indra was also not a real Kshatriya here. Because he was dressed as a fake sannyasi, he was also, he is not himself, right? He's not genuine. So he could not even hold the position because he could not follow the dharma of himself, of what he's meant to be. He also could not follow his varnashrama duties of being a Kshatriya. So he ran away. Just like Kali Purusha, when you see in the chapter, Kali Purusha was dressed as a king, killing the cow. When Parishit Maharaj came, immediately he started begging for mercy. Please forgive me. Right? A real Kshatriya will not beg for mercy. He will fight and die. So Kali Purusha is actually just Sudra, but he's dressed like a Kshatriya king, which is happening now. All these guys ruling the kingdoms, ruling the earth, different countries, all Sudras, just dressed like king only, and making people fight their wars. They won't go and fight the war. The king actually leads the war, right? So the king, so Atri actually speaks to the son of Prithu Maharaj and says, "This is Indra." So he goes and chase after him, right? He chases him, and then Indra disappears. He takes the horse and comes back. So why he let Indra go? He actually wanted to kill Indra. He was ready to shoot the arrow, but he saw him dressed as a sannyasi. He said, "Oh no, I cannot. He's a sannyas. I can't kill him." And he let him go. So like that, this happens two times. Again, Indra comes. Again, he steals the horse. Again, Vijitasva goes. Vijitasva he gets the name because he has won over Vijaya, right? Victory. He has Asva means horse. He has won the horse back. So this happens again. Atri again says, "Kill him. He's Indra. Don't worry." Vijitasva said, "No, I will not kill. He's dressed like a sannyas. Cannot." So like that, this happens. So we'll see this verse here. Then the great hero Vijitasva, the son of Prithu, again took the horse, returned to the father sacrificial arena. Since that time, certain men with poor fund of knowledge have adopted. See, this is important. Since that time, they have adopted the dress of a sannyasi. For 1922. 22. So you see, even the Jain religion is like that. Just like a dress, they dress like they're so renowned, but they don't worship. They have no regard for the Supreme Lord. You know, in Mahabharata also, there's a story where I forgot his name. There's this rishi. He gets a golden crown. This crown, he gets this crown to give to his guru's wife because he had finished this rishi. He finished his gurukul training. So he asked the guru, "What I should get for you?" The guru says, "You go and get the crown of this king, this queen." So he goes there. The queen gives him, "Okay, fine. You know, the Guru Mata I wanted, I give you." So he took the crown, he came back. While coming back, he wanted to shower he wanted to take Tirtha Snan. Right? While he was bathing, Takshaka, the snake which burns Parikshit, Takshaka comes and steals the crown. And what attire Takshaka comes in? As a Jain Muni. He comes as a Jain. So Takshaka himself showing, "I'm a fake Jain." Jain is. And he steals and he runs away. And then this person has to go and find Takshaka, go to Nagaloka, all this story goes on like that. So you can see the attire also, you can see is a cheating attire. So we can also understand this is the time where the fake sannyasi started. So Prabhupada explained very nicely here. Since time immemorial, the sannyas order has carried the three danda. So the Vaishnava sannyasi, we carry the three danda. Right? What does this mean? By mind, body and words, we surrender to Krishna by mind, body, and words. But the Ekadanda sannyasi, they actually just want to merge with the Lord. They want to merge in Brahman. They have actually that is the greatest desire actually. To become one with God is the most greatest selfish desire. They want to enjoy themselves. Now we want to enjoy our senses, right? But I want to become God because I can enjoy the Supreme Lord's platform. Because I can enjoy the greatest sense gratification. So, Prabhupada says here, later Sankaracharya introduced the Ekadandi Sannyas, and Tridandi Sannyasi is a Vaishnava Sannyas. And an Ekadandi Sannyas is a Mayavadi Sannyas. There are many other types of Sannyasi who are not approved by Vedic rituals. The type of pseudo Sannyas was introduced by Indra. Again, see, he tried to hide himself from the attack of Vijitasva, the great son of Prithu. Now there are many different types of Sannyasis. Some of them go naked. Even Gandhi also tried to do this nonsense. Going naked, sleeping with the girls, traumatizing them. They are saying that Gandhi can control his senses. He's so powerful. He's able to control his senses. Even though he's naked in front of the girls, he never touched them. Did anybody consider how much trauma the girl is going through to see an old man genitals like that? No, right? He's causing child abuse, sex abuse to a child. And people are glorifying him. How foolish people have become. So this is, all this e-religion started from where? From that time. in Indra's. And some of them carry a skull and trident, generally known as Kapalika. All of them were introduced under some meaningless circumstances, totally no meaning at all. And those who have poor fund of knowledge accept these false sannyasis and their pretense, although they are not bona fide guides to spiritual advancement. So Prabhupada here talks about now Vivekananda. At the present moment, some missionary institution, he never mentions, but actually is the Ramakrishna mission, without referring to Vedic rituals, have introduced some sannyasis who engage in sinful activities. Because in the Ramakrishna Math, they eat meat, they eat cow also. And they're saying, no, I'm realized, self-realized soul. No, even though how you can kill an animal alive, you're killing, and then you're saying you're self-realized. You're committing such a big sin. You're so cruel. The sinful activities forbidden by Shastra elicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, gambling. The so-called sannyasis indulge in all activities. They eat meat, flesh, fish, eggs, and just about everything. They sometimes drink with the excuse that without alcohol, fish, and meat, it is impossible to remain in the cold countries near the Arctic zone. As if these people are living in Arctic zone. No? These people will talk, no, we are Eskimo, how the Eskimo will eat. Are you Eskimo? If you're Eskimo, you talk, You're not Eskimo, right? You are not in the same situation. You compare apples and apples, don't try to compare apples and orange. So these sannyasis introduce all these sinful activities in the name of serving the poor, Daridra Narayan Seva. This is another nonsense they started. And consequently, poor animals are cut to pieces and go into the bellies of these sannyasis. As described in the following verses, such sannyasis are pakandis. Vedic literature states that a person who puts Lord Narayana on the level of Lord Shiva or Brahma immediately become pakandi. Even when you consider the devatas as equal to Narayana, you're a pakandi. You're an atheist. Yashtu Narayana Devam Brahma Rudrani Devate Samatvena Viksheta Sa Pashanti Bhavat Dhruvam. In Kali Yuga, the pakandis are very prominent. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has tried to kill all these pakandis by introducing the Sankirtana movement. So this is the real religion, Sankirtana movement. And what these people are doing, they are saying they are sannyasi. We recently had this problem with Amogalila Prabhu. He said something which is true. That these people, how is he a Siddha Purusha when he is eating meat? And then he got banned by the organization of ISKCON. How stupid is this? So people who are telling the truth, they are getting censored. They are considered irreligion. People are doing irreligion, they are considered great religious people. Simple logic. And Prabhu also made a video in YouTube, is there, you should watch how he went through the Manusmriti. Because in Manusmriti there are certain verses which says you have to kill the animal and do all these things, but then it's rejected in the end. This karma kanda is totally rejected. Later we'll find out also what happens to Prithu in the same context. So they do not quote the later verses, they quote the middle verses, take it out of context and say, see, Brahmana can eat. So when we made the video, there's a lot of comments saying, oh, you cannot judge Vivekananda, you don't know anything about him, such a great saint. Great saint can eat all these animals and become great saints. So ABC also, ABC of spiritual life, ABC of religious life, they don't know. If you're killing someone, how are you going to say that you are even a normal human being? Tell me. Not even a normal human being to start with. And then suddenly you are Siddha Purusha. How? So people are misguided because they do not have knowledge of scriptures. So it's the duty. See, Prabhupada says that the Sankirtan movement, so Krishna conscious is only will be able to save them from this influence of these pakandis. So we have to be strong enough to save the people from the influence of these pakandis. So now the point, now coming back to the story, Prithu Maharaj, you can see here so each time Indra came to steal the horse, he came in a different form. He was taking different forms. So what is happening is he is introducing one irreligious symbol after another. It is going to get worse and worse. So just see the enviousness of Indra. Even though being a king of heaven, the envy has not left his heart. He's envious, he's jealous. How can a person who is envious lead the people? How can such a person be a leader? Why the Mahabharata war is happening? Because Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra were so envious of the Pandavas. How can such envious people be able to guide the nation and the society and the country? So that's why Krishna wanted to wipe them out, right? So Indra, he was so jealous. So this word called jealousy is what? Matsarya. Unless if there's matsarya, there's envy in the heart, we cannot develop bhakti at all. While we are performing devotional services, sometimes you may get envious of another devotee's achievement, right? Oh, why only he is doing, why I cannot do? Of course, it's good to have competition, but we should not be envious. In the Vaikuntha, it's not like that. When somebody does greater service to the Lord, they are glorified more. You see, even the gopis, they did not compete with Radharani. They wanted to help Radharani get closer to Krishna. In the prayers of the gopis, the 10th chapter, the wives of the wives of the gopis, many of the gopis were also married, right? So they were saying, you see how great this deer, the deers, the doe is so great because the husband is so attached to Krishna, and they want the wife to also serve Krishna, and both husband and wife are coming and looking at Krishna, enjoying the beauty of Krishna, glorifying Krishna. But whereas our husband, they are so envious of Krishna, they do not want us to go and dance the Rasa Leela with him, because they are envious of. But I rather be the wife of the deer than have this husband who stops me from going to Krishna. Why? Because envy. So similarly, the enviousness is also displayed by Indra. So you can see whatever different forms he assumed as a mendicant, because of his desire to seize the horse, were symbols of atheistic philosophy. So he is, number one, he's envious. He is attached. He's not detached. His activities are all based on attachment. I'm so attached to something, I must make this happen. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajogana samudbhava. When I am lusty, when I'm attached to the sense object, right? Dayato vishayan pumsam. When I get attached to the sense object, sangaste supajayate. I develop lust. Sangat sanjayate kama, kama krodha vijayate. And when I get so lusty for that object, when I lose it, I get krodha, anger. And when anger comes, krodhat bhavati samhohat, smriti vibramaha. My mind is lost. Smriti bramshat buddhi nasa. My intelligence is lost. Buddhi nasa pranasyati. When intelligence lost, everything is lost. You get stuck. You see how dangerous this enviousness is, right? So Indra was displaying this. He was attached. He was envious. Now what happens next? We will find out. In the next verse, he was introducing one irreligion after another. Then, in this way, King Indra, in order to steal the horse from King Prithu's sacrifice, adopted several orders of sannyasi. Some sannyasi go naked, sometimes they wear garments and pass under the name of Kapalika. These are simply symbolic representation of their sinful activities. These so-called sannyasis are very much appreciated by sinful men because they are all godless, atheists, and very expert in putting forward arguments and reasons to support their case. We must know, however, that they are only passing as adherents of religion and are not in fact. Unfortunately, bewildered person accept them as religious, and being attracted to them, they spoil their life. So now what happens next? King Maharaj Prithu becomes very angry. He becomes angry because as a king, your number one duty is to protect the citizens from irreligion. Not only protect them physically, but to protect them from sinful activities, right? So if people are seeing these sinful activities happening, they are going to learn, right? What is that verse? Yat yat acharati shreshtas tat tat eva torajana sayat pramanam kurte lokas tat anuvartate. What a great man does, the common man follows. So Indra is a very great man, great devata. People will start to follow that. So King Prithu realized, I have to do something as a leader. So here's a real leader. I need to curb down this cheating nonsense. So immediately he took his bow and arrow. He wanted to kill Indra. He goes to kill Indra. Then let's see this verse. Maharaj Prithu, who was celebrated as very powerful, immediately took up his bow and arrows and prepared to kill Indra himself, because Indra has introduced such irregular sannyas orders. So he goes to kill, and then all the priest says, no, you cannot kill, because when the yajna sacrifice is happening, the only thing that has to be killed is the offering, the sacrificial offering, the horse. If you do anything else, everything gets contaminated. Then all your sacrifice is wasted. Then, so the Brahmanas, what they say? They gave a better idea. They said, what we will do is, instead of killing Indra, we will chant mantras, and he will come and fall into the fire, and he'll die. So they were not. I mean, they did not mind Indra dying. You know, even in the story of Janamejaya, when Janamejaya was doing the fire sacrifice, right, to kill all the snakes and Takshaka. So Takshaka knew that Takshaka knew he's going to die. All the snakes were falling into the fire of the fire sacrifice of Indra, of Janamejaya. And Takshaka was very intelligent. He caught on the chariot wheel of Indra, and he was forcing Indra to fall inside the fire. You know, in the Mahabharata. And while Indra was going to fall in the fire with Takshaka, everybody was saying, hey, Indra is going to die. And Janamejaya said, let him die. Who cares? They don't even care. Let him die. Then, of course, another Rishi comes and stops Janamejaya from doing that. Brahma also came. So many people. So Indra is this second time. This is the first time. After the second time happens. So then Brahma immediately comes to that place and stops Maharaj Prithu, and he says that stop the performance of sacrifice. Stop it at once. It doesn't matter you get 100. Let Indra have the 100. You have 99. It's okay. Why? How we can judge the actions of Brahma here? Brahma could have told Indra to stop, right? Why he told Prithu to stop? Why? Because Indra was so stubborn. He was not listening. Of course, you've seen many stories how his character is. So Brahma understood that instead, but Prithu is not like that. Prithu is a devotee. Prithu is submissive. Prithu listens to the Guru. So he says, you better stop. But anyway, what is the point? Later Brahma says, what is the point of this sacrifice? Already you have satisfied Vishnu. What's the point doing 100 Ashwamedha Yagya? Let him take the name of 100 Ashwamedha Yagya. It's not as glorious as what you are, because you have satisfied Vishnu. So the devotee, being a devotee, he detached. He's very detached. Indra is attached, he's detached. He's detached from getting the name Shatakratav. He said, now mind, let Indra have it. So immediately he listened. He said, I will stop the sacrifice, let Indra. Then Indra immediately he understood, oh, I'm in the wrong. So sometimes when we chastise, if you tell them directly, maybe they don't listen. If the person is committing mistake, so sometimes the Guru, what he does, he corrects the other side to show an example here. So Indra immediately had realization. Prabhu, so much la. Okay. Okay. So anyway, what I was saying. I was saying that I was saying how Prithu was detached from getting any fame and glory, and because he was detached, right, his fame is spread all over three worlds. Aha Prabhu Korodhayo, Deho More Padachaya, Ebe Jasa Gushu Tribhuvana. The spiritual master glory is sung in all the three worlds. Whereas the demigod glory, maybe only few people know. People in heaven know. This Indra he did 100 Ashwamedha, and he created so many irreligious activities at the same time. So what I'm trying to say is Brahma's urgency was, let's stop the irreligious activity. That is more important than doing a yagya, which also benefits people. But negating something bad is more important than doing something generally good. Right? We can understand here. So that's why when we are also practicing spiritual life, a lot of emphasis is given to don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Of course, we are also saying do this, do all these things, but make sure you don't do this sinful activity. In initiation, what is Prabhu asking? Prabhu is representing Prabhupada, right? What are the 4 principles? Will you do this? No. So the don'ts are also very important. So Brahma immediately wanted to stop this, because if this is not stopped, Indra, you do not know what. Now we are seeing all the irreligious activities now, right? It's actually started from there. What more Indra would have done, we don't know. How much more perverted it would have become. Correct? So like that, Brahma says that you are the ruler, you are the king, you're meant to protect the people. So protect them by not doing the sacrifice. Protect them by not being misguided. And then after that, he says that the sacrifice is not important. Satisfying Vishnu is more important, and Vishnu himself is here. Why you fear? So doing satisfaction of Vishnu is more important than doing all this fire sacrifice. That's why the Sankirtana Yajna in this age is the most important. So then after that, what happens? Indra realizes his mistake, and furthermore, what happens in the next chapter? Lord Vishnu himself comes and talks to Prithu Maharaj, and Lord Vishnu says, "Please forgive Indra." Can you imagine? If Vishnu is asking forgiveness on his behalf. So Indra, seeing this, his heart totally melted. Oh, I am the bad guy. I am the mistake. I'm committing so much offense and mistake, and Vishnu is begging for my forgiveness. Such a rascal I am. Immediately in front of everyone, even though he has so much of envy and he's so proud, in front of everyone, millions of people, whoever was there, he bowed down to Prithu Maharaj and asked for forgiveness. So we can also learn that from Indra, that he could understand his mistake. And he, of course, the way he was corrected is a bit different. Vishnu and Brahma was very compassionate towards him. They corrected him in a very soft way, which is good for him. He learned, and then he bowed down. He said, "I will not seek your forgiveness. You are so great." And of course, in the chapter, Prithu Maharaj has a lot of verses glorifying the Lord. The Lord also glorifies him as a great leader, great king, great devotee. So like that, the story goes on. So what we have learned from all these verses is how this irreligious activity actually began, and how a leader should be, and how a leader should not be. Indra is a leader. We are not supposed to follow what he did. Prithu Maharaj is the real leader that we are supposed to follow. So similarly, in today's verse, we see how Rishabhadev, we are supposed to follow his activities, his instructions, not his activities. Then you will end up in the Jain religion only. You know. So another point I wanted to make: why do we discuss these things, this e-religion? Sometimes people will say, "Why these people are always talking about the don'ts?" These people always say, "Don't do this, don't do that. This is bad. Money is bad. Everything is bad." They don't talk about Krishna Katha. They don't talk about Rasa Leela. These are all very nice, pleasurable pastime of Krishna. Why we are not discussing these things so much? Because we are not in the platform to understand. We are still having enviousness in the heart. This enviousness has to take out. So now we'll see some verses, final few verses before we stop the class. So this is in the 4.8 chapter. Canto 4.8, Dhruva Maharaj's side. So Brahma, another son of Brahma was irreligion. So irreligion also came from Brahma. Everything we see in the creation is coming, right? Like in the Bhagavatam, it says that the front side of Krishna is Dharma, the behind is Adharma. Vyasadeva, he saw. So anyway, another son of Brahma is irreligion, whose wife name was falsity. So irreligion's wife is falsity, telling lies. They go well together, very matching couple. From their combination were born two demons called Thamba, or bluffing, and Maya, or cheating. So they had two sons, bluffing and cheating. These two demons were taken by the demon named Niriti, who had no children. So Niriti, who is Niriti? Darkness, the demon. Then we see Maitreya told Vidura, O great soul, from Damba and Maya were born greed and Nikriti, or cunning. So that means the brother and sister, they had incestual relationship. The demons, they do this. Brother and sister also, they have sex with each other. Demoniac quality. Then, so greed and cunningness was born. From their combination came the children Krodha, anger, and Himsa, envy. And from their combination born Kali and his sister Durukti, harsh speech. So harsh speech is also not good. Okay, so all this, see how the combination of various irreligious elements are coming. Then, O greatest of all good men, by the combination of Kali and harsh speech were born children named Mrityu, death, and Biti, fear. So how fear, when you are in fear, all these qualities are there also. Yeah. From the combination of Mrityu and Biti came the children named Yatana, excessive pain, and Niraya, hell. Hell also came from them. And then, so now this is the conclusion. My dear Vidura, I have summarily explained the causes of devastation. One who hears this description 3 times attain piety and washes the sinful contamination from his soul. So, how important is it to hear these things? It's important to hear about these bad qualities. It's important to hear how to conquer those bad qualities. If you keep hearing them with Krishna Katha, then you will attain piety and wash your sinful contamination. See, so it's important to discuss these elements and also how to overcome them. And follow the footsteps of Maharaj Prithu. So anyway, I think that's what I would like to cover today. If there's any comments or questions.
There's another example of pretentious service and religion. This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote about it.
Uttara.
Uttara came in the garb of serving Krishna, but actually she wanted to kill him. Pseudo religion and pseudo came in the garb of preaching, serving Krishna, preaching religious principle. Actually, they want to kill Krishna. Preaching Mayavad philosophy and other. So they are like Krishna, and they wrote an article about it.
Maybe you can make a video on that.
Only that all the images represent someone. People don't have to do it.
Yeah.
They are doing it.
Right, correct.
Then, but Uttara was liberated, right? Even the came as a religion. So, even if they come as a religion,
Hamsa also liberated.
So what is the question? So we need to surrender to Krishna to overcome them. That is the only way. Okay.
Another story was there, and this is now understanding. This is Brahmana, because that was a rich person go here, the snake charmer was doing the charming of here, and he was singing all the things. Kalya, now God is said the Kalya snake. At the time Haridas Thakur was listening, he was very expressive. Then everybody coming, oh, he's a great. One Brahmana wanted to imitate Haridas.
Yes, this story.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you all can hear?
No.
He narrated a story which is in the Chaitanya Bhagavad also, Sri Bhagavad only. This snake charmer was playing the instrument and he was glorifying Kaliya, the Leela, Kaliya pastimes. Then Haridas Thakur, hearing the pastime, seeing this, he got in the ecstasy, started rolling and all the symptoms. And everybody started to pay respects to Haridas Thakur, what a great devotee. And then another Brahmana wanted to imitate that. He started to roll on the ground and started to act like Haridas Thakur. But then the snake charmer came and beat him. So the snake charmer could detect who is a real sadhu and who is a fake sadhu. So he's not, this means the snake charmer is not an ordinary person. He's also in the pure level. Because a pure devotee cannot be understood easily. Yeah. So yeah, this is a nice story. So okay, we will end the class here.
Very good. One sloka there.
NP?
So many nice one glorifying the Lord.
In his the next chapter in his prayers, you are glorifying the Lord. So my dear Lord, you are glorified by selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotee carry the aroma of the saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. This beautiful explanation. Devotees thus gradually come out of the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotee. It's a very nice explanation. So we have to hear from the mouth of the pure devotee glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord. And the saffron particles of the Lord will come and um, from the mouth of the devotee, it will carry the aroma, and then it will come into contact with the forgetful jiva by going to the ears. So this is the cure for this irreligion and all this. We have to keep hearing what is real religion, real dharma. Then we can differentiate what is not dharma. So we will stop the class here then. Jai Guru Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Gaur.